Hi, this is Lisa Zahia, and today I'm talking about how to pivot your business. So we all just saw some really major pivots in business during the COVID crisis that started in 2020, and right now when I'm recording this, it's 2021 and it is still happening at some variety in some places of the world, affecting small businesses. So I want to tell you my story about this and how I chose to pivot, and also we get circumstances in our businesses and our lives, babies, illnesses, reprioritization, that it's going to make us want to pivot or change something in our business. So 2019 was the year of my life. I was doing so well and thriving. I grew my business significantly, had a lot of big wins in my business. And then in the beginning of 2020, continued to grow that, wrote this big business plan. And then, like all of us, got hit in the face. Unfortunately, I owned a fitness business. So that studio, dance and fitness studio, was the primary income driver for 14 people and for myself. We were forced by the government to close, would have closed anyway because of the health crisis. And in that, still was responsible for the overhead of the business, including the rent, which was upwards of $5,000 a year. And I mean, a month. I wish it was $5,000 a year. Anyway, from there, really sat and one of the things you want to do in a pivot situation is like future cast a little bit, forecasting, like what do I anticipate is going to happen? And there's a couple things that I thought here. One is clearly this is going to last longer than 2 weeks, given everything that was happening. They were like, oh, you're going to be able to reopen in 2 weeks. If you really looked at diving deep, doing the research that's going to allow you to forecast, I could see that it wasn't. And clearly it would have been at least 6 months before I could have opened again, taking me like, can I spare the $30,000 in rent? The answer was no. So that's number one. Do your research, forecast what's going to happen. Two, think about trends. Is that if people are going through this apparent health crisis, are they going to want to be in group fitness situations again? Even now, like post the vaccines, a lot of people don't want to. So we really had like tight, packed classes. So I realized that wasn't going to happen for a very long time. And actually saw that like probably a lot of things in fitness would change dramatically. There was already this move towards online with leaders in the industry like Peloton and Obey. So anticipating all that, I made a big decision to pivot, and not pivot partially. Like a lot of people did online classes, but they didn't have great technology, weren't able to give people a great experience. So if we go back, what are the things when you want to pivot, forecast, and then also consider what you want? I actually saw it as an opportunity to grow the company, and then really did a lot of research on customer acquisition outside of the area I was already in. So I never thought, how can I survive this? I thought about how can I thrive through this? And then when I did it, I was able to grow the company extensively by doing customer acquisition. And it wasn't people who previously bought from us, because those people really preferred and were longing for the in-person experience. But we really went out and got new people who liked an online fitness experience. So if you want to change your business, you need to forecast. You need to think about where those new customers who are going to enjoy that new experience are. And finally, think about your own needs and wants and how you can incorporate all of that into a new business plan. Biggest part, always thrive, not survive.